Yo, it's your boy, RayMabry. And on today's episode, I want to talk about Tax Overages 101. I just recently did a video, actually the previous video before this one, where I talked about the best kept secret. And so I want to dive just a little deeper into what tax overages are and the advantages of getting into tax overages like right now. But before I get started, let me introduce myself, RayMabry, full-time real estate entrepreneur here in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, and I'm currently out here at the park. I just want to drop this video right quick to kind of give you guys a little more insight as to why I think tax overages is a great complement or a supplement to add to your business model, okay? I will say this, and this has been my experience, the process can somewhat be a little slow. So some people may say, well, why I want to get involved where it may take, say, 90 days to get a payout. But if you already have your wholesaling business going and you got money that you're generating on a consistent basis now, this would be something that you could add to your toolbox. So imagine, let's say you help someone recover some funds from a tax overage sale, and your payout is, say, $15,000. Okay, but it's 90 days out. So obviously, $15,000, depending on where you are in life, it could be a great addition to your business. But I think it'd be something where if you look at it from the standpoint, like that's just extra money that's coming in to help your bottom line, then it can help you be able to increase your cash flow, from a business perspective. So let's talk about tax overages. Tax overages is just what it sounds like. It's overages or extra left from a tax sale, all right? And so let's say these particular people that we're marketing to, they've lost their property due to a tax foreclosure. So what you as the asset recovery person does is you reach out to them and say, hey, look, there may be a possibility that, you have some monies left over from the sale of your property. And, if you're interested in working with us, we can help you try to recover those funds. Now, one of the biggest objections you're going to have in the tax overages business is people going to think it's a scam. They're going to say, hey, I lost that property to foreclosure. I don't know what you're talking about. The city or the state doesn't owe me any money, and they want to call you a scammer. So you have to be able to make sure that whenever you connect with these sellers, that you go ahead and get to the point. You want to build rapport with them, but you want to go ahead and tell them who you are and why you're calling, and kind of explain to them how you can help them try to recover their funds. So getting back to what tax overages are, say you had a property I used in this example in the last video. Let's say you had a property that you were $10,000 behind in taxes. At some point, if you don't cash those taxes up, you're going to get foreclosed on. And so when you get foreclosed on, let's say that same property was worth $100,000. Okay, $100,000 now, and this is very, very feasible because a lot of times when you have these properties that go to sale, you can generally get them for pennies on the dollar from a tax foreclosure sale. And so as an investor, let's say you have a buy and hold investor or a fix and flip investor, let's say they can get that $100,000 property for $50,000. So even though the house is worth $100,000, the investor is buying the property for $50,000, you only owe $10,000. So that extra, that $40,000 extra, is what you refer to as the overages or the surplus funds. So technically, legally, I should say, the monies, the excess funds or the overages belongs to the person that got foreclosed on, not the person that paid the extra money for the property, because they're the investor. They're still getting a $100,000 property for $50,000 in this example. And so that $40,000 belongs to the person that was foreclosed on. That's where you come in as the asset recovery person, or the investigator, the investor that's going to reach out to these folks and say, hey, look, there's a possibility that you owe X amount of money, X amount of dollars. If you're interested in working with us, we can try to help you recover those funds. And so, as I stated before, one of the biggest obstacles you're going to have is when you make contact with these people, they believe in that you're legit. Them not thinking that you're a scam. But that comes from, getting comfortable on the phone, of course, working on your script, your cold calling script, and making a connection with those people so they can get comfortable, and relax working with you to help them recover those funds. But this example I gave you is real life. It's something that happens a lot. Oh, let me get back to the $40,000. So you help them recover the $40,000, and let's say by some chance you charge them 20%. All right, so 20% of $40,000 is $8,000. All right, which is a pretty decent payday. You would get $8,000, they would get $32 from this example, and you could just rinse and repeat that over and over and over and over again till you can start building you a sustainable business, just helping people recover funds that's already owed to them. A lot of times people say, well, can't the people go and claim the funds themselves? Yes, of course they can. But I use this analogy here too. First of all, a lot of times these people don't know that they owe this money. That's one thing. But in the event that they do know that they owe the money, a lot of times they don't know how to file the claims to be able to get the money back. And then they say, well, why would you use an asset recovery person, or why would you use somebody like yourself or myself to help them recover the funds when they can do it themselves? And my response to something like that is the same reason people go out and eat, or the same reason I'm here at the park and you got, I don't know if you hear the noise in the background, but let's say you have landscapers, people cut your grass and stuff, or a lot of us go to the barber shops and salons and stuff. We get things done for us that we can do ourselves a lot of times, but we still pay for those conveniences because they make our lives easier. Or, because I'm just a firm believer, you pay pros to do certain things in your life to make your life better. Same thing like if you want to sell a property. Even though I'm an investor, if I wanted to sell a property and get retail for my property, I may list it with a realtor, even though I can sell it myself. The same as that concept. So this is why a person will work with you to help them recover their funds, because a lot of times, they don't know what to do. They don't know the steps. They don't know the processes. So that's where you come in to help them recover those funds. But getting back to, like I said, you will have a couple things to overcome. The main thing is learning the system, learning the processes. And then once you learn the processes, also know that, here in North Carolina, we have 100 counties, okay, 100 different counties. And so a lot of these municipalities, these counties and stuff, have different ways of doing things to where, like let's say Mecklenburg County in the Charlotte area is going to be different. Their process is going to be different than here in the Wake County, Raleigh area, than where I'm located from, even though we're in the same state. So those are some things that you're going to have to overcome is kind of finding out whichever area that you decide to market in and go after these, help these folks with overages, tax overages. You have to know what their guidelines are. So that's one thing. Of course, working through the objection of them thinking you're a scammer, that's another thing. Identifying who these folks are, skip tracing them, locating these people, another thing. And then the other thing is the time it takes to get paid. Those are all things where it may discourage a lot of people from getting involved in this business because they may say it's too much work. But let me give you this piece of advice before I go. Whenever there's a situation where there is a somewhat barrier of entry, or it may be kind of somewhat a little difficult or challenging getting going, that's where opportunity lies. Your opportunity lies where it's where most people don't want to kind of go and just deal with it, or it may be too much of a hassle for them to try to do it or whatever. That's where your opportunity lies. So don't discount that. If it's a thing to where it's challenging for you to get the information, then more than likely it may be challenging for the next person to get the information. But if you're able to push through that, and you're able to, let's say skip tracing, or let's say you kind of have to go through an extensive skip trace to locate these people. Once you identify these people, once you connect with these folks, you may be able to get a deal where you can have, say, a $20,000, $25,000 payday, whereas the next person, they decided to pass on it because it was just a few extra steps to locate these people. So let's keep that in mind. But tax overages, I'm telling you, is a great supplement to your business, and it's something that I've been doing here recently, and it's been paying. And so if you're interested in learning more about it, I am working on a mini course. Stay tuned for that. Also, if you want to get more information on, there's a link in the description where you can set up a 15-minute strategy call if you want to talk about the tax overages. We also work on state surplus funds, which is another strategy. It's in the same lines, but it is another strategy that you can add to your tool belt. And of course, if you want to learn more about wholesaling and or creative financing, reach out to me. Let's talk. Let's see how we can help you grow your business. Also, make sure, you know, if you can, donate to the channel. You know, just whatever you feel like donating, whatever. I'm not here, once again, I'm not here begging for money, but you know, if you want to help the channel to grow and stuff, then just feel free to donate to it. I also have links there, PayPal, as well as Cash App links. But listen, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. You know, go out, just learn this business, do some research on it. I'm telling you, it's a great extra source of income. It's great, and there's a lot of money out there to be claimed, you know, locally, you know, from a statewide position and from a nationwide position, nationally speaking. So go out and help these folks reclaim these funds and get paid in the process, all right? This is your boy, RayMabry, about to sign off. Until next time, peace.